After a 4-year detour, the Beatles are finally getting back to super deluxe editions of their classic albums, and thankfully that return is happening with the album fans have been begging for. Rubber Soul is, of course, the natural choice to continue the Fab Four's box set series, which saw its last release with the Revolver Super Deluxe Edition in 2022. Since that time, there's been a ton of discussion in the comments section on this channel about the future of the Beatles album box sets. I've speculated for a while that the days of expansive collections of Beatles outtakes are likely over at this point. The Beatles simply didn't spend as much time in the studio during the recording of the earlier albums. So when I saw the new Rubber Soul box set would only have one CD of outtakes, I wasn't surprised at all. But that begs the question, of course, what makes the box set worth buying? The answer will depend on what kind of Beatles fan or collector you are, as well as what versions of this album you already have. So in this buyer's guide video, I'll break down the various versions that are available, and I'll make my recommendations for who they may be best suited for. I'm going to start with the most basic releases. Rubber Soul is being offered as an album-only edition on a single CD, as well as on a single vinyl LP. The single vinyl, by the way, is available as either standard black vinyl or in a special edition Zoetrope version from the official Beatles store. This will have the new 2026 stereo mix of the album, which was created using the same demixing technology that was used for Revolver previously. I would only recommend this version for the casual fans. If you're just looking to have this album represented in your music collection in its core form, and you're not really interested in outtakes, the album-only edition makes sense. If you're watching this channel, though, you're probably not a casual fan, and that's where the 2-disc versions may be a very appealing option, if not the most appealing option. There's both a 2-CD and a 2-vinyl LP edition available, both of which contain the 2026 mix of Rubber Soul on one disc, and a collection of outtakes and bonus tracks on disc 2. Now, what's important to note here is that the second disc is not the same disc as you'll find in the box sets that I'll be discussing shortly. This will be a highlights disc featuring 16 of the bonus tracks from the box set. Even though the box set packs 28 bonus tracks onto a single CD, they've cut 12 of those off for this truncated version. That's a bit of a bummer, but not surprising. It certainly helps reinforce the value proposition for the bigger box set, ensuring fans get more for their money with that purchase. Still, the 2-disc editions are well worth considering. In fact, these are what I recommend for most Beatles fans. Don't get me wrong, the box sets have some nice material not represented here, but they are really aimed at more hardcore fans. The 2-disc editions deliver the 2026 album mix, as well as a nice collection of outtakes that all work together to tell the Rubber Soul story in a concise and affordable way without feeling repetitive. And when we look at what actually comes in the box sets, I have a feeling the non-hardcore fans will probably shrug. And if you already have the updated 2023 versions of the Beatles' Red and Blue collections, the 2-disc Rubber Soul may even be more appealing. I'll explain why in a moment. So let's dive into the boxes. The Rubber Soul Super Deluxe editions are available as either a 4-CD box set or a 5-LP vinyl edition. Both versions contain a poster, art cards, and an 88-page hardcover book. As you might expect, the actual music is the same in both the CD and the vinyl sets, but the way things are split up is a little more interesting on the vinyl version. While the CD packs all 28 bonus tracks onto a single disc, the vinyl version splits them across 2 LPs and a 7-inch single. That actually makes sense here because the 7-inch is a double A-side single of Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out, which were non-album singles recorded during this same time period. That's a nice touch here, and it helps add value to the pricey vinyl box set. The CD box set simply includes those 2 songs at the end of the second disc with all of the other bonus songs. Two more things to note about Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out. One is that neither of those tracks is included on the two-disc editions of Rubber Soul that we talked about a couple minutes ago. And two is that these are the previously released 2023 stereo mixes of those songs, which you may already have if you bought the updated red and blue collections a few years ago. So, if you were considering whether or not to get the two-disc version of the box set and thinking you were missing out on 12 bonus tracks, it might only be 10 if you already have the new Red album. So, yes, there's either 10 or 12 bonus tracks in the box set that you don't get on the two-disc editions. But wait, there's more. The box sets also contain two other versions of the Rubber Soul album. One is the original mono mix of the UK version of the album. The other is the US Capitol Records version of the album. Neither of those are new, per se. For example, if you have the previously released Mono Beatles collection, as well as the US Albums collection, you basically have this material already. But if you're the type of fan who bought both of those sets before, you're probably the type of fan who is going to buy this new box set anyway, regardless of any duplication. Otherwise, I think the appeal of these alternate original versions of the album is likely going to be for the hardcore fans and collectors. Others may find the material redundant, which is why they may prefer the two-disc editions instead. Now, there's one more edition of Rubber Soul we need to cover here, and it's a good news, bad news situation. There's a Blu-ray audio edition coming out, featuring the album in Dolby Atmos, as well as the new 2026 stereo mix. Day Tripper and We Can Work It Out are also here as well, but none of the other bonus tracks or the original UK and US versions are included. So the good news is this is available as a standalone release, which is a huge win if you're a high-res audio buyer. The bad news is it is not included in either of these Super Deluxe box sets. That's going to be a bit of a slap in the face for some fans who have been complaining about the lack of Blu-ray audio discs in the recent box sets and have hoped in vain to see them return. Well, Blu-ray is back, but you're going to have to buy it on its own. So there you go, the return of the Beatles Super Deluxe Edition albums with the long-awaited and often requested Rubber Soul. If you've got all of the previous box sets in your collection already, I have no doubt you'll be investing in this new one as well. But more than any prior box set, the scarcity of available outtakes from the older albums makes the value proposition questionable. Casual to moderate fans may be more satisfied with the two-disc editions than the much more expensive box sets. And hardcore fans who do buy the box may inevitably end up wishing there was just a little bit more. In my opinion, this is the most underwhelming Beatles box set yet, but it is also exactly what I expected for this album, and it's probably the template we can expect them to follow for future box sets as well. All editions of Rubber Soul by the Beatles are set for release on October 2nd, and you can find pre-order links in the description below.